In the vast universe of cinema, some films shine brightly as cultural phenomena, while others become quiet masterpieces waiting to be discovered. These are the films that don't always shout for your attention, but instead whisper their brilliance, leaving a mark that deepens over time. Today, we journey into one such gem, a film that trades spectacle for substance and whose chilling vision of the future has only grown more potent with every passing year. We're talking about Alfonso Cuarón's 2006 dystopian thriller, Children of Men. Our story plunges us into the bleak streets of London in the year 2027. This is not a world of flying cars or gleaming chrome, but one of decay, grit, and profound sorrow. Humanity has been afflicted with a global infertility crisis. For 18 years, not a single child has been born. The world has fractured under the weight of its own despair. Governments have collapsed, cities have become war zones, and Great Britain stands as one of the last bastions of a fragile, authoritarian order, ruthlessly deporting refugees who flock to its shores. This world is seen through the eyes of Theo Faron, a former activist who has long since traded his ideals for the numb comfort of apathy and a bottle of whiskey. He is a ghost haunting his own life, moving through a society choked by paranoia and grief. The film's visual language masterfully reflects this mood. Director Alfonso Cuarón and cinematographer Emmanuel Lubetsky chose a desaturated, almost monochromatic color palette, draining the world of warmth and vitality. The camera rarely leaves Theo's side, clinging to him with a handheld, documentary-style intimacy that makes us participants in his journey, not just observers. This isn't just a setting, it's an atmosphere you can feel. The cold, damp air, the scent of refuse on the streets, the ever-present tension of a world holding its breath, waiting for the end. It's in this suffocating landscape that a single, impossible spark of hope is about to ignite, forcing one broken man to decide if humanity is still worth saving. The plot of Children of Men is less a complex web of intrigue and more a desperate, forward-moving pilgrimage. Our disillusioned protagonist, Theo Faron, is jolted from his cynical slumber when he is kidnapped by an underground militant group led by his estranged wife, Julian. She needs him for a seemingly simple task, to use his government connections to secure transit papers for a young refugee named Key. The mission seems straightforward, a final favor for a past love. But this simple task spirals into chaos during a harrowing roadside ambush, where Julian is shockingly killed, and Theo is left as the reluctant guardian of a secret that could either save the world or tear it apart. The secret is Key herself. In a world that has forgotten what pregnancy even looks like, she is miraculously with child. She is not a symbol or a saint. She is a scared, sharp-tongued young woman carrying the impossible weight of the future. The new plan is to get her to the Human Project, a mythical scientific group rumored to be working in sanctuary off the coast. This journey becomes the heart of the film, a frantic, cross-country odyssey through a fractured Britain. Along the way, Theo and Key find temporary refuge with his old friend Jasper, a former political cartoonist living in seclusion. Jasper provides a brief, warm respite from the crushing bleakness of the outside world, a pocket of humor, humanity, and hope. But safety is an illusion. As they are hunted by both the government and the very militants who first sought to protect Key, their journey becomes a relentless series of near misses and brutal confrontations. The stakes are constantly escalating, as every stranger is a potential threat and every safe house a potential trap. The story reaches its devastating climax in the Bexhill refugee camp, a sprawling, war-torn ghetto where the lines between soldiers, refugees, and insurgents have completely blurred. Here, in the midst of a full-scale urban battle, Key gives birth.
The final act is a breathless, terrifying sequence as Theo, Key, and her newborn baby must navigate a building under siege. Their escape through the heart of the battle culminates in a moment of pure cinematic grace. A temporary ceasefire, as soldiers on both sides are stunned into silence by the sound of a baby's cry, a sound no one has heard for nearly 2 decades. The resolution is bittersweet and ambiguous, a quiet boat ride through the morning fog, leaving us to grapple with the true cost of hope and the uncertain promise of a new dawn. A story this powerful needs more than just a compelling plot. It needs characters who feel achingly real, and Children of Men delivers. These are not archetypes. They are flawed, complex people shaped by a world that has taken everything from them. At the center is Theo Faron, played with world-weary perfection by Clive Owen. He is the quintessential anti-hero. When we meet him, he is a husk of a man, his past activism and personal tragedies having curdled into a deep-seated cynicism. He doesn't want to be a hero. In fact, he actively resists it. His journey is not about rediscovering a long-lost strength, but about slowly, painfully rediscovering his own humanity. He is driven not by grand ideals, but by a simple, protective instinct that grows with every step he takes alongside Key. His transformation is quiet, internal, and utterly believable. Then there is Key, the unlikely vessel of humanity's future. Portrayed with raw vulnerability by Claire Hope-Ashite, Key defies the chosen one trope. She is not a serene, mystical figure. She is a young woman, often coarse and terrified, who never asked for this burden.
Her pregnancy is a miracle, but to her it is also a terrifying and isolating experience. This grounding in reality is what makes her so compelling. She represents hope, not as a divine concept, but as something fragile, messy, and fiercely human that must be protected at all costs. Perhaps the most beloved character is Jasper Palmer, brought to life by a magnificent Michael Caine. Jasper is the film's soul. A former political cartoonist now living in the woods, he is a beacon of warmth and defiant optimism in a cold, dark world. He cares for his catatonic wife, tells jokes, and maintains his spirit with a mix of gallows humor and genuine love for his old friend Theo. His calm courage in his final moments provides one of the film's most heartbreaking and powerful scenes, a testament to the idea that fighting for the future can sometimes mean making a quiet, dignified stand. Even the supporting characters are unforgettable. Julianne Moore's Julian is on screen for only a short time, but her fierce idealism is the catalyst for the entire story. Her belief that the world is worth fighting for, even when all seems lost, lingers long after her shocking exit. Together, these characters form a tapestry of human experience, from despair and cynicism to resilience and unwavering love, making the world of Children of Men feel not like a distant future, but a terrifyingly possible reflection of our own. Beyond the gripping story and unforgettable characters, Children of Men is a marvel of filmmaking, packed with behind-the-scenes details that make its creation as compelling as the film itself. Here are 5 fascinating facts that reveal the artistry at work. Fact 1. The legendary long takes. The film is famous for its complex single-shot sequences that immerse the viewer directly in the action. The chaotic car ambush, for example, was a single, unbroken 4-minute take.
To achieve this, the crew designed a special camera rig that could move 360 degrees inside a modified car, with the windshield and seats designed to tilt away to allow the camera to pass. It took 12 days just to set up the shot, and the final take was almost ruined when a drop of fake blood accidentally hit the lens. Fact 2. The accidental masterpiece. Speaking of accidents, one of the film's most iconic moments was completely unscripted. During the final battle sequence in the Bexhill camp, a squib of fake blood splattered directly onto the camera lens. The cinematographer Emanuel Lubetsky immediately wanted to yell "cut," but director Alfonso Cuarón stopped him, recognizing the raw, visceral power of the moment. He shouted, "Don't cut," and the blood remained on the lens for the rest of the harrowing 2-minute shot, shattering the barrier between the audience and the action on screen. Fact 3. The hippie who inspired Jasper. Michael Caine's character, the gentle, pot-smoking Jasper, was not entirely a work of fiction. Caine based his performance on a real-life friend he knew in his youth, a man he described as a hippie who was always smiling and laughing. He even adopted his friend's unique way of speaking and shuffling walk. It was Caine's idea for Jasper to have long hair and wear sandals, grounding the character in a reality that felt personal and authentic. Fact 4. The Pink Floyd connection. The film contains a subtle but powerful tribute to the band Pink Floyd. In the scene where Theo visits the Ark of the Arts, a building preserving humanity's cultural treasures, a giant inflatable pig can be seen floating between the smokestacks of the Battersea Power Station. This is a direct recreation of the iconic cover of Pink Floyd's 1977 album Animals.
Cuarón personally sought permission from Roger Waters to use the image, adding another layer of cultural commentary about a society that can preserve its art but not its own future. Fact 5. The story in the background. Children of Men rewards repeat viewings because so much of its world-building happens in the periphery. The filmmakers filled the background of nearly every scene with details that tell the story of society's collapse. Newspaper clippings taped to walls describe the siege of Seattle and the dissolution of the United States. Graffiti scrawled on buildings provides clues to the political factions at war. Even the film's opening scene, where Theo narrowly escapes a cafe bombing, is a detail many viewers miss, as the explosion happens off-screen just seconds after he leaves, underscoring the constant, random violence of this world. Decades from now, Children of Men will be remembered not just as a great science fiction film, but as a prophetic piece of art. Its legacy is cemented in its profound and enduring influence on both cinema and cultural conversation. When it was released, its gritty, documentary-style realism was a jolt to the system, redefining what a sci-fi thriller could be. It stripped away the genre's typical polish and escapism, and, in doing so, created a future that felt terrifyingly immediate and real. This on-the-ground aesthetic, particularly its masterful use of long, immersive takes, has since influenced a generation of filmmakers, from blockbuster action directors to independent storytellers. The film's technical achievements are studied in film schools, but its thematic resonance is what gives it a timeless quality. Its exploration of themes like immigration, nationalism, environmental collapse, and political division has only become more urgent. The film's depiction of a society that turns on its most vulnerable in times of crisis serves as a powerful cautionary tale. It forces us to ask uncomfortable questions about our own world. How do we treat those seeking refuge? What happens when hope is extinguished? And what is our collective responsibility to the future? Beyond its political commentary, the movie's ultimate legacy is its deeply humanistic core. In a landscape of utter despair, it argues that hope is not a passive feeling, but an active choice, a struggle that requires sacrifice, courage, and empathy. The film doesn't offer easy answers or a perfectly happy ending. Instead, it leaves us with a fragile, ambiguous glimmer of possibility, suggesting that the fight for a better tomorrow is worthwhile, even if we are not guaranteed to see it. This nuanced, powerful message is why Children of Men continues to captivate and challenge audiences, securing its place as a true modern classic, a film that not only reflects its time but transcends it. Now, after journeying through this bleak but beautiful world, we want to hear from you. We've met a cast of unforgettable characters and uncovered the incredible artistry behind the camera. But what part of this story resonated most with you? Was it a particular character's journey?
Perhaps you were moved by Theo's transformation from a cynical bystander into a reluctant protector, a man who rediscovers his soul in the act of saving another. Or maybe it was Jasper's defiant optimism, his ability to find humor and warmth in the darkest of times, that truly captured your heart. Or maybe you were captivated by one of the behind-the-scenes facts that highlight the sheer genius of the filmmaking. Did the story of the accidental blood splatter on the lens give you a new appreciation for the raw power of cinema? Were you amazed by the technical wizardry required to pull off those incredible single-take shots? Let us know in the comments below. Which character or fact from Children of Men made the biggest impact on you, and why?
Your perspective helps bring the conversation about this incredible film. We look forward to reading your thoughts.